Hello everyone, welcome to another video. I am Ryder of Dinosaurs. I know I've been away for a while. Life takes a few swings at you sometimes. Hopefully, it will improve now. For those who stuck around, thank you. Why am I making this video? It all started when I saw this post on Flatzoid's community tab. No, it's not a joke. Flatzoid really says that because steel is denser than feathers, therefore it's heavier. But wait, it gets better. Here he goes even further, declaring that density is related to the weight. Spoilers, it's not. Well, it is, but not in the way that Flatzoid thinks it is. In his example, as you can clearly see, he says, even though why 1 kilogram steel brick is equivalent to over 1,000 feathers that make a combined weight of 1 kilogram, aka the steel is still heavier. Yeah, he said that.
This is wrong.
But I wanted to give him the benefit of the doubt. So I asked, so you're saying that 1 kilogram steel brick is heavier than 1 kilogram of feathers? You know, just to see if that was what he really meant and to give him a chance to explain it better. And explain it better he did. I give you his answer. I have no words. Let's put the two messages in the same screen so you can grasp what Flatzoid is saying here. Just read it. I'll give you a few moments in complete silence. You got it? Yeah, it takes time to digest, doesn't it? Now, what I'm about to say next took me several takes, and honestly, I've rewritten it 100 times. I don't know how many times. Well, not 100, but I don't know how many times, and I still can't make sense of it. But here it goes anyway. So he's saying that just because the steel bar that weighs 1 kilogram is just one, and the feathers that also weigh 1 kilogram are several, still weighs more. Confused? Yeah, me too. But you might notice that he swapped from density to mass. I wonder if he knows they're not the same thing. One thing is for certain, Flatzoid is nothing but consistent. Consistently wrong, but still consistent. Now, I've tried many times to come up with an explanation to show how wrong he is. But all that I came up with didn't feel quite right. So I contacted a rather unknown creator here on YouTube. He's very good at what he does, and I would invite you to subscribe to him. The poor guy only has 59,000 subscribers. Well, scratch that. I give you Conspiracy Cats.
Oh, Flatzoid. I don't know why I'm doing this. I've got a feeling that if I tried to explain to you how to tie your shoelaces, you'd respond by just denying that shoes even existed. This idea, Flatzoid, that density, some reason, is the sole reason that things fall or rise in a medium is one of the most absurd things I've ever heard in my entire life. So I'm going to explain it to you much like I would do to a tiny child, but the only difference is the tiny child would have the intellectual honesty and capacity to understand what I'm saying. So I'm looking forward to seeing how you misrepresent, ignore, and lie about what you're going to be told. So here we go. Without even trying to be technical about it, if you were to stand and hold a small ice cube in one hand and a massive ice cube in the other hand, even though both ice cubes would have exactly the same density, exactly the same mass per unit volume, you would realize that the big ice cube would weigh a lot more than the little ice cube, even though the densities are the same. Now, the fact that I'm actually having to repeat this again to a grown man is making me cry inside. So, Flatzoid, can you honestly explain, why two objects of exactly the same density would have different weights? Why two objects of exactly the same density would require different forces to stop them moving down towards the ground? Can you explain that whilst also clinging on to your childlike and ridiculous belief that density is the sole reason things move towards the ground? Let's talk about Millikan's oil drop experiment, shall we? Which is probably going to require you to deny that electric fields can exert forces or something like that. I will look forward to whatever form of denial you decide to present to this. It should be quite interesting. Millikan sprayed some oil into a chamber, and the oil droplets were all of the same type of oil. So the density of each oil droplet was exactly the same, but their size wasn't. So again, we have a situation where we have things with different masses, but identical densities. These oil droplets were given a static charge as they fell, and they were falling through a uniform electric field. Millikan was able to alter the strength of this electric field to slow down and even suspend some of the oil droplets in the air. Now, if we think about balance forces, Flatzoid, that you will have learnt when you were about 7 years old, you would realise that if one of the oil droplets was suspended, then the downward force of that oil droplet, which is its weight, Flatzoid, okay? The downward force on the oil droplet must be equal to the upward force exerted by the electric field. Now, if density is the reason things fall, then you would imagine, because all the oil droplets had exactly the same density, you would imagine that the electric field strength required to suspend all of the oil droplets, regardless of their mass, would be exactly the same. But there's a little twist in the tale. Can you guess what it is, Flatzoid? Well, the twist is that the density wasn't the reason they were falling at all. In fact, even two oil droplets with identical electrical charges, but different masses, required different size forces to suspend them. So the problem you've got, Flatzoid, is time and 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 time again, we can show instances where objects with the same density but different masses require different forces to stop them falling. It's as simple as that.
Before I finish this video, I'd like to give a huge thanks to Conspiracy Cats for his help. I hope this is the first, but not the last video we cooperate in. And in all honesty, although I doubt any of you has not heard of cats, but if by some crazy twist of destiny you haven't, go and subscribe to his channel. And this is all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed it. See you in my next video.